Okay, look, Chelsea against Bayern, man. Now look,
can I start?
Red, no. I'm gonna start. I've put up. Look, as I said again, look, it's very simple, man. You know, they got beat. You know, they got beat, and to quote my dear friend from Talking Tactics, Daniel Tillockman, aka Danny T, those ass cheeks were spread, man. Those ass cheeks got spread in that second half. And when the beating is so bad, when it is so embarrassing, I feel mellow. Yes, I had to stay off Twitter. Yes, I had to stay off my timeline, but I feel mellow. So my thing is this. Because Ford couldn't explain this to me. So maybe someone can explain this to me. So I'm going to ask two questions. First question is this. Can somebody enter Lampard's head and tell me why Ross Barkley stayed on the pitch for as long as he did? First thing. Second thing, how impressive were Bayern Munich, and do you think that we can look at Bayern Munich as one of the favorites, or they just played a trash team? Let me come first to Hazem, then I'll come to Red. Hazem.
Look, this was an interesting match, you know. I can't blame Lampard that much, to be honest, because I think I agree with Forwards kind of. That I don't think Lampard could have done much more in this game. Because if you look at the first half, it was pretty even, right? Chelsea actually were reclaiming the ball. Alonso was playing pretty well. They had some chances, right? And Bayern actually were making mistakes. Boateng kept on losing the ball in these key areas. I don't know what Boateng is doing. But second half, it was just the change of pace, right? Bayern changed the pace of the game so quickly, and Chelsea couldn't deal with it. It's gonna happen if you have an inexperienced team. This is the Champions League. If you have a squad and you're relying on young players like Mason Mount, Reece James, these guys aren't gonna cut it. I'm sorry, these guys are not gonna cut it in a round of 16 game against a very experienced Bayern side. When the pace of the game changes and you have
wait, real quick. So Hazmi saying that a better coach couldn't do a better job.
No, he couldn't. You're telling me a better coach could be Bayern in this game? No way, because the squad, look at the squad. They're a good squad, don't get me wrong. But you have youngsters here and there. You have Alonso, who he played well, but this guy, he's not good enough. I'm sorry, for this level of the game. And you have a midfield of Jorginho, Ross Barkley. These guys are not top players. When you compare it to Bayern's midfield, they had Thiago and Kimmich. Great job. They were reclaiming the ball very well. They were very fast. And when you have game changers that Chelsea don't have, you have Giroud as striker. What do you want Giroud to do? This guy is not a game changer, all right? He did in Europa League, okay, but this is the Champions League. Lewandowski.
Wait. I want you to read this from my boy Danny T. Hazem. A better coach couldn't do better than a 3-0 loss at home.
No, he couldn't. Let me tell you why.
Oh,
when you have a player like Lewandowski, nobody can stop him on form, okay? Nobody can stop this guy on form. Let's be honest. If Lewandowski wasn't playing, this game would have been 0-0. This game would have been 0-0. He literally created all three goals. All right, Davies, then the third goal did all right. But he literally played an important role in all three goals, 2 assists and the goal. Lewandowski, he showed his world-class ability. And that's the difference between Chelsea's squad and Bayern's squad. No defender in Chelsea, Rudiger and Christensen are not going to stop a world-class striker like Lewandowski. I'm sorry.
Wait, it wasn't just Lewandowski.
Someone like Van Dijk.
No, wait. Hazem.
Lewandowski's out.
Alphonso Davies was the best player on that pitch.
Yeah.
Not Lewandowski, it was Alphonso Davies.
He was the second best player.
Wait, is Lewandowski out for a month?
Yes.
No, a month.
Wait, you missed the second leg.
How can you say when Lewandowski had 2 assists and a goal, he literally contributed to all 3 goals that he?
I don't care about stats. Alphonso Davies. I'm telling you, Alphonso Davies was the best player on the pitch. Lewandowski, along with Gnabry, were very good. Alphonso Davies destroyed the living hell out. If not for Alphonso Davies, Lewandowski would not have scored a goal. He put that ball on a plate.
And if not for Lewandowski, Gnabry wouldn't score those 2 goals. Do you disagree?
Oh, no, true. No, but okay. Wait. But let me say this: Lewandowski's chance was far easier than Gnabry's, based on Alphonso Davies's ball being far more superior and far easier for Lewandowski to convert than for Gnabry to. Gnabry had to do a lot more work for his goals than Lewandowski did. You can't. Alphonso Davies was outstanding.
Not really,
I'm sorry, he killed Chelsea that half.
Lewandowski made a great run. Okay, I'm giving credit to Alphonso. That was a great for the third goal. Alphonso Davies was the best, right? Well, Lewandowski also made a great run for that goal. Not every striker would have been there and reached as fast because Alphonso Davies is very fast. Not every striker would have matched his pace to reach the cross. Okay. Second of all, the whole game was okay. The point remains. First of all, Chelsea cannot deal with Davies, Lewandowski, and Gnabry. Okay, their defense is too experienced to deal with such firepower. And this is to Dan, right? No coach could have set up that defense that could defend such a huge impact of firepower in the change of pace of game of Davies, Gnabry. Even Muller.
No. Hazem, I'm sorry. Wait, before I go over to Red, Hazem, you must be insane to tell me that a better coach couldn't have done better than a 3-0 loss at home. 3-0 loss away, okay. 3-0 loss at home. I'm sorry, Lewandowski, Gnabry, and thingy ain't Neymar, Suarez, and Messi. Wait, Hazem. Are you telling me that Lewandowski, Gnabry, and Coman are on the same level as peak Neymar, peak Messi, and peak Suarez?
No, they're not. But Chelsea's level is way lower than them. Chelsea's defense, yes, for sure. And when you have Jorginho, who is not able to act as a center defensive midfielder to support them, yeah.
Okay, okay. Let me bring in Red. Red, thoughts on this whole on the Chelsea Bayern beatdown.
Man, I was surprised. I wasn't really watching because I thought Chelsea had it on lock. I was promised semis.
Red, I blame you. Why did you put that into the universe? Why? No. You're to blame for the loss. Bro.
How?
Because you put it into the universe. I told her that way. Red, what are you smoking by saying Chelsea have it on lock? Don't put that into the universe.
Look. It was. I actually thought Chelsea was in the quarters. I thought I was stunned this round because I thought Juve were in the quarters already. Turns out no. I thought Chelsea were in the quarters already. Turns out no. I also thought Barca were in the quarters already, but as well, turns out no. All they did is make this why more watchable. Now, before I thought that second leg would not be watchable, but now I think the second leg is watchable because comeback is still on. The comeback is still on. Last time an English team went to Germany, they put 3 past Bayern.
So you're putting Chelsea in the same level as Liverpool of last year?
Possibly. Hey, we don't know yet. There's still 90 minutes to be played. Have hope, HH.
No, that half hope is an irony. Juju man.
Yes, I mean this game
and Juju man, don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful.
Good. I told Abdullahi. I mean, I think from the beginning when they signed Lampard, I said last year it's a rookie. He's not going. It's more of you need experience, and I think Lampard needs more experience in his resume before he gets the Chelsea job, because Chelsea is a big team. But with the game yesterday, I mean, no surprises. I predicted 2-1 Bayern win, and the one thing that surprised me is Gnabry. I think it didn't surprise me, but I would say my man of the match was Gnabry. He's just
over Alphonso Davies.
Over everyone, because he was exceptional. This man has to be the most improved player in the. He used to play for Arsenal. Now he's playing in the big boys league in the Champions League.
He was on the bench for West Brom, man.
Yes, and it was from West Brom.
Yeah. Amazing rise.
He needs. I think I was impressed with him. And the other thing with Chelsea. I mean, Tammy Abraham. We had this conversation. Look, I don't like to be the bad guy in this stuff, but he's not good enough. He's just not good enough. I know it's his first season. We're supposed to.
His first season, easy. Judgment. His first season.
He's not good enough because, I mean, I can say this confidently. If Haaland was there, those balls that are going across the
Judgment, don't. Please don't.
No, with Abraham, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And with Chelsea,
so do you think that display puts Bayern as one of the favorites for the Champions League, or you can't judge them based on that?
Yes, I consider them together with if Man City beat Madrid, I consider them and Bayern as favorites, because Flick, I mean,
It's good. Hansi Flick has tried, man. Hansi Flick has tried.
he's done a great job because Muller looks good. Pavard was the weakness, though. I saw Pavard. That's where the other teams will exploit because he looks like the weakness. And the other thing that I'll end with is, I mean, Coleman injury is all right. He's not exceptional.
Let me say about Coleman. Coleman is
his injury. No, he's like he adds pace, but apart from that, is nothing. He doesn't. It shouldn't be a guy.
So who do you put the blame in?
The blame.
Wait, so do you put the blame on Ross Barkley, the players, or Lampard?
No, I can't blame Lampard. I don't rate the guy. I don't think he's. Look, I don't think he's good enough for this job. Like, how can I blame someone who doesn't, who I don't know rate? Like, I didn't expect him to do anything. The players are not that good. Like, Barkley is no good. Tammy Abraham is no good. Yeah. Mason Mount, I think.
Jujuman, don't you dare put Tammy and Barkley in the same.
All right.
Jujuman, don't do it. Don't do that.
All right. And Aspilicueta is no good. Rudiger, even though he was on the receiving end, I still rate Rudiger. I think he has potential, and the right management, he has potential. And I'll end with this: Frank Lampard's his body language was no good because he crossed his arms. I mean, it's like you're not supposed.
He's a rookie, man. He's a rookie. He's a rookie
because it's like this. Some of these guys in this Chelsea team are young. I mean, I didn't expect them to win because is inexperience. Some of them, these players are no good, and Lampard should be there to cheer on his players. He crossed his arms and his legs, and I'm like, that is not a good.
Okay, all right, okay. Wait. Let me just read the super chat here. So from this and that 765 says, "I love you, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for the love." All right, BD Core, why do you keep disconnecting? Are you connected? Is your mic working?
I am. I'm here, man. What's up?
Okay, BD Core. Chelsea Bayern thoughts.
Oh yeah, HH. I think I want to say this. I told you this before the beginning of the season. I think you guys should have already sacked Frank Lampard. Bro, like I told you, the guy was an awful coach. You never listened to me. So him being a rookie manager, it's been coming for ages, and I think it would have been better if you sacked him earlier than let it run off as of right now, because I don't see where you guys are going in this season. Like, I think you guys are going to get bounced in the second leg too.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, wait, but who do you put the blame on? Lampard, or the players being too young, or the players being trash, or Ross Barkley?
I'm coming, man. I'm coming. 1 second. I think I put the blame on Lampard. Lampard is awful. He is trash. Yeah.
So okay. So you put the blame. All right. Okay. Let me bring in Muntaha here. Muntaha, Chelsea Bayern thoughts.
Yeah, bro. For me, with respect to Chelsea Bayern game, even I expected, I predicted, Chelsea to go through somehow 2-1 or something like that, 1-0. But this is a reality check, bro. Eventually at some point, it's a reality check because the lack of quality. Let's be honest over here. I believe that Lampard got the best out of. At the start of the season, after losing to Man United, in the season, in the first half of the season, and, he had good enough form, good games, consecutively, he keeps on winning against Ajax as well in the group stage, and yeah, he did his job, to be honest, with what he could do. I mean, with respect to, you have Barkley, Giroud. I mean, in the first half, Chelsea showed up. Okay, there was a signs where Chelsea was good. Giroud was, winning all those first balls, long balls where Caballero was hitting, on him, and he was winning that. And in a sense, he worked as a target man, and that worked better. But Barkley, I mean, I believe that the only mistake he did is by selecting Barkley as in his first starting lineup. I believe that Willian should have played this game because that would be much better. His shooting, his accuracies, and I think it's better than Barkley, I believe, personally. And yeah, man, but this is a harsh reality, man, and you have to face that.
So who do you put the main blame on? Lampard, Chelsea, or
bro, for me, I put blame on the players, and especially Jorginho. Jorginho continuous liability in defense, bro. I mean, what kind of player he is? I mean, people say, oh, he's a regista and all, does all those things. I mean, really? I mean, look at Thiago Alcantara from this game, bro. Like, you saw the difference. Let's be honest with you. And even you saw from the difference from the final third difference from Lewandowski, Alphonso Davies, and even Gnabry. I mean, that was huge, man, massive. I don't think so. Chelsea will come back. I'll be honest with you. But even though, like,
wait, Munsa, you don't think?
Yeah,
They're not. So what do you mean by you don't think? They're 3-0 down. What's there not to think of? What the
no,
heck?
okay, like in a sense, I believe it now.
Thank you, believe, man. Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, Chelsea's not.
That's our crash.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So before I come to Hoga Benito and your boy Danny, let's hit the super chats. Gatlock, I told you all that Lampard will pick Barkley and Mount. Gatlock, I really didn't believe this dude was really gonna pick Barkley because he played well against Tottenham Hotspur, man. I really couldn't believe that. All right. Hoga Benito, man. Chelsea ban. Give me your thoughts, bro.
Yeah, I mean, none of us should be surprised. There's such a gulf in quality between the two sides. Like, as for your question about the manager, of course we can criticize him. Like, he could have kept the score down by some tweaks. Like, Willian should have started, and Zuma should have started, I thought. And as for Barkley, I mean, I have no words for this guy. He's one of the worst players I've ever seen. Horrible player. And so you should have started Willian. And like, they could have got a goal. I mean, the first half, Marcos Alonso had that chance to finish, and he didn't. I thought that was their best chance of the game. And I mean, no, I'm not surprised at all. And it could have been a lot worse, I thought.
Okay.
And of course, there's no chance for them in Munich.
Danny. Bro.
Yo, what's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Danny T, what be my Talker Tactics partner in crime. Danny T, can you please tell these guys, can you just put some truth bombs into these dudes? Can you just break it down?
What's the question you're asking people? Because I want to get it raw. So what's the question?
So basically, Chelsea Bayern. It's a two-part question. The first one is, who do you blame for that second half disgraceful performance by Chelsea? Do you blame Chelsea just being trash? Do you blame Ross Barkley? Do you blame them being too young? Or is Lampard to blame? And the second part of the question is, does that performance put Bayern Munich as one of the favorites, or we can't tell because they were playing a trash team?
I'll answer the second part last. I don't know how much we can glean off Bayern Munich considering they're going against Chelsea. So that's the answer to the last question. In terms of who do you blame, I can agree with Hazem to an extent. I don't think whatever Chelsea did, no matter the lineup, if they had 100% injury free, they play Conte, whomever, I still think Bayern are good enough that they would have gotten a result. The question is that 3-0, you should be able to do better than 3-0 at home. So then you have to ask what happened in the course of that match that led to that result. And how I see it, who's picking Barkley? I'm not going to blame Barkley. If the manager says, yo, you get to play, what's he going to do? Say, no, I don't want to play?
No. You don't blame
So the person I look to is Frank, unfortunately. And these are, maybe we could call it rookie mistakes, sophomore mistakes, whatever the case may be. But who's picking Alonso? Who's picking the formation? Who's picking the players in the formation? Who decides who plays on a week-to-week basis?
Daniel.
You think what's going to work against Spurs is going to work against Bayern Munich? No.
Daniel, but how can you blame Lampard when you know he's a rookie? How can you blame him? Like, it's expected. You hire a rookie, this is what you expect. So how can you blame a rookie for being a rookie? I mean,
we can see it. Juju, we can see it.
No.
Yeah,
but Juju man, but Juju man, in the defense of what Daniel says. Wait. But Juju man, in defense of what Daniel said, yes, he's a rookie. Even if you're a rookie, and I think Hoga Benito alluded to it, I'm not even a rookie. I'm just some dude who does this like that. Even I know that this dude is trash. He shouldn't be playing. And I have 0 minutes of coaching experience.
This guy was a professional footballer for 20 years. Like, he should have the basic elements of just like
basic.
This is what we should do. This is what we shouldn't do. And to think, okay, I'm gonna go into a match and I'm gonna put 2 guys in midfield against Bayern's 3. You're just outnumbering your midfield. Like, he was. I don't like using like pussy, bitch, all of those kinds of words. But that's what it was. He was scared. He played scared. and he ceded control of the game to Bayern Munich, and he shouldn't have done that, especially if the whole premise of this season is we're trying to establish a certain style of play. If you're trying to establish a certain style of play, then play that. Don't switch, swap, and change every week, different formations, different 11s,
different
people in the 11.
different central defenders.
It doesn't make sense if the premise of the season is we're trying to build for the future. If you're building for the future, once you decide a few months ago that Alonso isn't in the squad, that Barkley isn't in the squad, that Giroud isn't in the squad, stand on that decision the same way he's done with Kepa. I guess he's decided Kepa isn't it, so Caballero's playing. But for some reason, Barkley's been rescued and brought back. Alonso's been rescued and brought back. Giroud's been rescued and brought back. Like, if they're on the bench,
no,
keep them niggas on the bench.
I disagree with that because Olivier Giroud himself, Marina Ganaskия and Abramovich has been putting pressure on Lampard to play Giroud. He told the family to them, I do not want Giroud because you do not allow him to go in January. I need a replacement. He publicly came out and said it. Give me Dembele of Lyon. I want Lyon striker. He came out and said it, but no one showed up. Marina Ganaskия was saying, I do not want to spend 65 million on Dembele. I want Olivier Giroud to stay. He said, no, I want the striker to partner Tammy Abraham.
Right.
So you can't blame Lampard. You got to blame the board.
Of course I can. Like, Lampard decided that he didn't want Giroud, so why bring him back into the team? If the idea of this season is that they're trying to build for the future. If you're building for the future, then after 8 months, you should know Barkley isn't in this equation. Alonso isn't in this equation. So build the team and the structure for each game around players that you know are going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you aren't doing that, if you are just trying to win individual games, like damn the future, how do you decide Barkley and Alonso are part of the team that's going to beat Bayern Munich? That makes no sense.
There is no, because see, the key thing here that I wanted people like Abdullahi, as you came in here, is that you can go with any excuses, and sometimes, yeah, like for Lampard, I do get the situation that he's in based on the difficulty of getting transfers, the players that you want, and so forth. But one thing I cannot accept is even with the players you had, Paderborn gave Bayern Munich much more of a game than Chelsea did. There are teams that are much lesser who wouldn't even sniff Europe with 0 world-class players who've given Bayern Munich a much harder game than Chelsea did. There is no excuse for him persisting with Ross Barkley when it is obvious this dude is gutter trash.
Okay,
and also it's the ramifications of if you take out Barkley and you maybe play 4-3-3, you have the option. You can play your favorite, your teacher's pet and Mount in midfield. You have your 3 in midfield that can go against theirs. Obviously, Bayern are still better, and like I said, they would win. But then if you want to play counter-attacking football, you can't play that with Giroud, Mount, and Barkley. There's no pace. You can't get out. So what? You have Willian on the bench, Pedro on the bench. I know these are names that Chelsea fans don't like, but there are raw attributes that you need if you want to play a particular style of football that those don't give you, that you have on the bench. So it's just, when you ask the question who to blame, it's Frank Lampard, and I know Chelsea fans don't like that. And
I don't give a damn, man.
Unfollow me on Twitter. I don't give a damn. But it's the truth.
It's no. But that's all
I have to say. So
yeah, I mean, okay. Abdullahi, come. You wanted to say something, Abdullahi.
Let me respond to that. I understand Lampard should be blamed for the formation pick and everything, but my problem is we're saying they should play William ahead of Barkley. I will tell you no, because William has.
Are you on crack?
Except for the Tottenham Hotspur match, only that has been when William showed up. William has not been showing up.
Cocaine, Abdullahi, heroin. Like you want Barkley over William?
Yeah, I understand that, Danny. I understand, but William form as deep in down. His mind is not in Chelsea because he wanted 3 years. Marana said, "I'm giving you 2 years. Either you take 2 years or the door is open to go." And
wait, real quick. So Abdullahi,
yeah,
because I think I missed. Did you say that you'd rather Barkley over William?
No. I said William mind is not in Chelsea anymore. He wants to leave.
He said he wants to be here for 3 years. What could be more?
He wants to leave than that. I want to give you 2 years. Either you get it 2 years or you leave. The door is open for you to go.
So he wants
to leave,
but his mind isn't with Chelsea. That doesn't make sense, bro.
His mind is not in Chelsea because he wants to go. He said it publicly. If they don't want to give me the 3 years, I'm gonna go.
Okay. Okay, look, and we need to just sort of round this off, man.
Giroud wanted, just quickly, double A.
Yeah.
Giroud wanted to leave in the winter window, and people are still cool with him playing. So
can I respond to Daniel?
Go ahead.
So I got your point that Lampard made the mistake of playing what's his name, Barkley and Alonso. But the thing is, when looking at the game, I don't think the significance of these decisions are that big because all three goals, none of the 3 goals were influenced by those decisions.
What do you mean?
The most you could say is it would be all right 3-1 if Willian started, even though Willian really didn't do much when he came on. But you can't say that the 3 goals or the 3-0 result is directly a result of those decisions. And Lampard is the main player.
Let me ask you just a basic question.
Exactly.
Do you feel if Chelsea actually had 3 guys in midfield and they weren't outnumbered, do you think Bayern would have had 70% possession or whatever it was throughout the game? There's no way. There's no way. The game would have been much more even. Of course, you open yourself up to like tit for tat, wild west. You go back and forth. Bayern are better. Maybe they get 2-1. You lose the game 2-1. You won't lose the game 3-0 if you play with some heart. And they didn't. They were just, okay, Bayern, let's just soak up pressure. That's never gonna work. Neutral ground, Stamford Bridge, nowhere.
No, but I mean, because see, the key thing has them down. The point that Darren is making is that you could tell, and even me and Ford were even saying this. You could tell in that second half, and me and Ford even said this, especially Ford, it was the response. You could tell there wasn't a plan. There's one thing about the players not playing well. There was not a plan because Hazem, as I've said, Paderborn put up a better fight than Chelsea did. There are lesser teams with lesser players in the Bundesliga who have never even been in the Champions League who have put up a better fight than Chelsea did in that second half. But the key thing is beyond just the players, there wasn't a strategy. It just seemed as if these guys were just doing whatever. And they only beat Tottenham because Tottenham are probably going through a worse situation with worse injuries than Chelsea are. So that's what?
Because they were playing on the counter. It was clear that Lampard was playing on the counter, and that's the smart thing to do against Bayern in such a game. You know, you're not going to go full on attack against Bayern. And as for the midfield, you know, it's
but the way there wasn't even a counter. I'm sorry, there wasn't even a counter-attacking plan. You don't understand. There was no plan. It feels as if this team didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Did you see the moments, like the few moments that when Chelsea actually did break through and it was like Mount on the counterattack? Did you see the pace of Davies to get back? Yeah. And just no matter what was happening, they didn't have the equipment to hurt Chelsea, to hurt Bayern Munich. Excuse me. If you put players with particular qualities, you probably have a better chance of taking advantage of those moments. You put Willian on the counterattack instead of Mount, or Pedro instead of Barkley. That gives you at least the tools that when you do break through, maybe you can do something. Mount doesn't have those capabilities.
No.
So it's just basic things like that.
No, because as much as Pedro hasn't been relevant since 2011, all day, every day, Pedro over Barkley. Pedro at his worst, I'm taking over Barkley. That's obvious. So the fact that you will still pick Barkley over Pedro is insane. Is absolutely insane. It is mindless.
All right, let's say Pedro or Willian started. All right, it would have been 3-1, right? It's like the impact of those decisions isn't that big, right? And as for the midfield, Bayern had 2 midfielders. They were Thiago and Kimmich, right? Muller was playing more as a second striker. So it was pretty even it was just down to the quality of the midfielders that Bayern was playing better. There was Kimmich and Thiago were just so great, and their quality was so much higher than Jorginho and Kovacic in that game. So
yes.
Are you saying that like a 2-0 isn't different? Like it's almost like the difference between 3-0 and 2-0 is massive.
No. Look, what was it?
No. Wait. 3-1 and 3-0 is still a difference. Okay, 3-0 is a disgrace.
But Double H in the whole grand scheme of things. Oh, sorry. Yeah, in the whole grand scheme of things, like what's it called? It won't make a difference because Chelsea Bayern have a better manager. They have better players all around. So even if regardless, for Chelsea to improve, they have to get a more experienced manager and buy players that are really good. Because regardless, Chelsea they were going to lose. They were just going to lose because they.
And you know what, Juju? And you know what, Juju? I agree with you. But what I'm talking about is the structural issues that I see. People always talk to me about, yo, Chelsea have a transfer ban. They have a rookie manager. When we get to the summer window, when we buy players and we do things that we're supposed to do in this, utopia kind of world that Chelsea are going to create in the summer, I'm still looking at it like there are problems with Lampard and his decisions in games before the game that trouble me, that worry me. Like the fact that you always change the formation. You don't know what your best defense is. You don't know what your midfield is. You don't know what your attack is. And even when you do decide that this is my attack, you're putting in Barkley, Mount. Like there are issues moving forward. So it's not necessarily about this Bayern Munich game because I think we all expected it, except for Have Hope, who he's on his own wave.
Relax, Daniel, chill.
He's on his own wave with Semi's minimum and all that kind of stuff.
Daniel, relax, man, chill. Man, they have forgotten about that stuff already.
But thinking people actually looked at it and were like, yo, Chelsea are going to lose. But it's how you go about it that's worrying me.